So now we are starting to see a sort of trend that the Houston Texans are doing. They are drafting for the rebuild, right? You take a quarterback with the 67th overall pick in Davis Mills, someone who I was a little hard on in last night's video. After looking at his film and looking at what he does, there might be something there. What Pep Hamilton really wants in Davis Mills, I think that's something that needs to be talked about. We saw what Pep Hamilton did last year with Justin Herbert. Can he do it with Davis Mills? Can he and him compete with Tyrod Taylor for the starting QB spot? Because we all know Deshaun Watson is more likely gone. But the Houston Texans also had another pick in the draft last night, and that was wide receiver Nico Collins. And I'm already go ahead and say that this was a home run pick for the Houston Texans. I have been saying that we need a big body wide receiver who could go up and get it, and not only that, who has wheels. Nico Collins ran almost a 4.4, 6'4", 215 pounds. The guy can almost do it all. You could put him in the slot. You could put him outside. He is your X wide receiver. He might even start alongside of Brandon Cooks, and I think this wide receiving core is going to complement itself nicely, right? Because you do have your deep threats. You still have Brandon Cooks. Nico Collins going to go ahead and get the deep route. And now when you need a possession, right, when you need a big catch, you can have Nico Collins, and teams are going to pay attention to him because of his size and stature. You all know I love big body wide receivers. Last year I was saying the Houston Texans need to draft T. Higgins, find a way to get him on the team, and watch what Deshaun Watson does with them. He ends up going to the Bengals, and as I predicted, he ended up having almost 1,000 yards. I was looking for a big body wide receiver this draft. I was looking for Terrence Marshall, who I really thought the Houston Texans were going to just trade up and go get. He was right there at 67. I would have been ecstatic if it was Terrence Marshall. Dwami Brown from UNC, right, from North Carolina, who is playing with Sam Howell. Played with Sam Howell, who's going to potentially be the number one overall pick next year. Another big body, deep threat wide receiver who has amazing hands. And then you have Nico Collins, someone who, we all know that Michigan has horrible quarterback play. When you have quarterbacks like Sherrod Patterson throwing you the ball, it's going to be very hard for you to produce numbers. And last year, Nico did 729 yards, 7 touchdowns. His longest touchdown was 76 yards. The year before that, 2018, 632 yards, 16 yards a catch and 6 touchdowns. Didn't play last year. He probably opted out. But the Houston Texans, I think you did solid with this pick. I think if he plays, if he played last year, then he would have potentially been a top wide receiver in this draft. And hey, and you could definitely say the same about Davis Mills. People were saying if he goes back to school and plays this year, he's going to be the potentially number one overall pick next year. So you're starting to see what the Houston Texans are doing, right? They just selected their new quarterback and wide receiver of the future, Davis Mills and Nico Collins. Can this be the mashup Andre Johnson? Can this be the Deshaun Watson, DeAndre Hopkins for the 4 years that we had? Can Davis Mills and Nico Collins form that QB and wide receiver one and really just make this offense great? I have no doubt that Nico Collins could be that type of player. I do have that doubts about Davis Mills. You're coming into a situation, you are looked at Deshaun's replacement. You are Deshaun's replacement, Davis Mills. And what also does that mean is whenever Deshaun Watson gets traded, like Patrick Storm said on Texas Unfiltered, he's going to get traded post June. So whoever it is, you're going to get a defensive player because of Davis Mills. We probably won't get Tua. I think everybody knows he might go to Miami. You're not going to get Tua. You might get Xavier Howard or Corden that I freaking love. Or you might get Christian Wilkins, someone on the defensive line. And also you get a plethora of picks. And if you're asked next year, then you have a potential high draft pick in next year's draft that you could help build around Davis Mills. But that's, again, if he pans down. Can Pep Hamilton do it? One thing to know about Davis Mills is he's going to have wide receivers. He's going to have an offensive line. He's going to have a chance to prove himself. Nico Collins himself, he's going to come in here. You're looked at as the new number one wide receiver. We haven't taken a wide receiver this high in a very long time. And you were once projected to be a second round pick. You now also looked at as the next potential great wide receiver for the Houston Texans. But that's the rebuild that we put ourselves in. Let me know what you think about Nico Collins, guys. I really do like this pick. It really excites me, and I'm excited to see what he can do. As always, guys, let me know. And as always, you'll have a very blessed day. The draft is about to start.